All right, I'm home for 3 whole weeks. This is going to be amazing. Oh, wait, no hotel bar. I have to make my own bed? I have to make my own coffee? Forget about having to clean towels. Damn it, I want to go back on the road.
Do you live, eat, and sleep the hotel industry? Looking to brush up on your game? You've come to the right place. Welcome to No Vacancy, the hospitality industry's #1 podcast, with your host, Glenn Hausman.
Hey everybody, Glenn Hausman here, your host of the No Vacancy podcast. And I'm excited and delighted to have each and every one of you here. So welcome to the show. And I'll tell you what, I'm feeling so clogged up and messed up from, allergies, cold. I don't know what it is, but I've walked on coal and slept on glass and made sure that I am ready for you all today. If you haven't subscribed to our show yet, what are you waiting for? Go onto iTunes, go onto Google Play, go onto wherever you find your podcast, Stitcher, all the like. Or you can simply text the word hotel to 66866 and you'll get our weekly newsletter with all of our podcasts. No Vacancy, Checking In with Anthony and Glenn, Hotel Tech Podcast, Business Hotel Podcast, Hotel Design Podcast, all of the great shows that we do. So today we're going to talk a little bit about golf. We're going to talk a little bit about resorts. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like running a big resort in Florida. But before we get into speaking on that particular topic, I want to ask you to reshape your expectations of what an FF&E distribution partner for hospitality should be. Make Almo Hospitality your go-to partner to simplify FF&E deployments for the guest room and beyond with industry-leading brands, the latest hospitality trends, and distinctive new-to-market brands coupled with their specialized business development and hospitality dedicated sales team. Almo Hospitality is, of course, a division of Almo Corporation, the nation's largest independent distributor of professional AV, consumer electronics, major appliances, outdoor furniture, and housewares. So be sure to check them out online and tell them Glenn sent you. So, all right, on to golf. I'm going to bring in Mr. Richard Mogensen right now, and he's the general manager of the Streamsong Resort in Florida, which, even though I never heard of, I learned is somewhere in between Orlando and Tampa. Richard, how are you, sir?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Good morning, Glenn. Great to be on.
Oh, I got to be honest with you, Richard. I am a New York guy, lived in Brooklyn and Manhattan for a lot of years, so I'm not much of a golfer. But, hey, I am a little bit of a mini golfer. So if you got any courses over there with some windmills, I can school some people on that one.
Well, actually, Streamsong is just one phenomenal resort. A lot of people are still learning about it, even though we're almost 6 years old now.
6 years, wow.
It's located in Central Florida, and it is greatly accessible from both Tampa and Orlando.
Right, and this property is managed by Interstate Hotels and Resorts. And what the cool thing is, Richard, this would have been my opening remark even before I said anything else, is like, hey, I'm Richard, and my resort has 3 courses just recognized by Golfweek as the top courses you can play in Florida, numbers 2, 3, and 4. What an insanely incredible accomplishment, Richard. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're very proud of our facility. The concept that this resort took out from basically a mining facility. Mosaic is the ownership of our great resort.
Right.
And they wanted to give back to the community and decided to develop a golf resort in the middle of Polk County, Florida, which is one of their mining areas. And
right.
So
and you're on like 16,000 acres or something crazy like that, right?
We have 16,000 acres.
Right.
We have 3 great courses. Streamsong Red, designed by Coor and Crenshaw. We have Streamsong Blue, designed by Tom Doak. And then Streamsong Black is our newest addition, which was designed by Gil Hans.
Wow. Just to put the size into perspective for people, the Walt Disney World Resort, I believe, is 24,000 acres. So you are dealing with a massive size property. So I'm not surprised you have 3 golf courses over there. So what's the state of golf today, Richard? Because it used to be much more, I would think, in a mainstream conversation. And while people love the Masters and stuff like that, I'm just not hearing about it as much anymore. Are people still super active in it?
Oh, golfing continues to be one of the best recreational sports in the United States. Our business continues to grow rapidly, and I think that you're gonna see golf for a long time, doing very, very well in the United States and abroad. So
Yeah,
continues to grow.
yeah. So tell me a little bit about the resort overall. You said you've been there 6 years. It's called the Streamsong Resort. So you've got these 3 courses. Are you a golf resort? Are you you're more of a multifaceted thing? I see you do a lot of weddings, et cetera, and that kind of stuff as well.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, we're predominantly a golf resort, but we also enjoy a lot of other different types of business because of the design of the resort.
Right.
We have 228 guest rooms, which are divided really between 216 at the lodge, and then we have 12 guest rooms over at our Red Blue Clubhouse, which is really ideal for a lot of buddy golf groups to come and play our facility.
Ooh, that sounds great.
We also enjoy about 25,000 square foot of meeting space, which you don't see in a typical golf resort in the United States, unless it's a very large overall resort.
Right.
And so we enjoy almost 400 groups a year currently, and that's a big number for a resort our size. So we're very fortunate.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like it's you've got a good balance of people wanting to do some sort of meetings associated with the golfing element as well.
We do. And, again, golf is predominant in terms of our business mix. And, buddy golf, either male or female, we're happy to enjoy both.
Yeah, of course.
We do a substantial number of rounds a year on all 3 courses. And we're really, I think we offer a lot of different types of venues. We have 5 different restaurants. We have 3 on-course food outlets. We have a spa. We have a pool. We have bass fishing. We have guided sporting clays and archery. So we offer more than just golf at this great resort.
Yeah. So what is it that people are looking for a getaway? Because I got to tell you, and I did a little bit of research here. I thought it was really cool that you do like archery and sporting clays and guided bass fishing. So it really is a lot more than a resort. And to me, again, as a Northeast kind of guy, you're offering some things that I don't typically get to see in this region.
Yeah, I mean, the first of all, the weather down here affords us an opportunity to have a very long season. A lot of golf resorts in the northern part of the country, very short seasons because of snow, et cetera.
Yep.
So we actually play 12 months out of the year. It's a little warmer in the summer down here, obviously the opposite season to New York. But we really, with all of our amenities, we can satisfy a lot of different needs. Our best package is really a 3-night, 3 rounds of golf. And that's called a tour package.
Right.
And that right now is the number 1 package that we sell throughout the year.
Cool. What is it that the typical golf customer is looking for these days? I mean, everybody has a higher scrutiny when it comes to picking the places that they want to stay. They expect things to be done the way that they want to do them. So what does today's golf customer really want from a golf resort experience?
Yeah, there's a lot of different customers in that realm, but we particularly enjoy really the A or alpha golfer to a great extent. They're looking at bucket lists of courses they want to play, and Streamsong offers 3 outstanding courses, highly ranked, and it gives us an opportunity to have them come and stay and enjoy the resort for many days and use a lot of our facilities and our amenities. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, that's really pretty. That's really pretty cool. What you have going on there. So, what are some of the big consumer trends that you're seeing from folks attending your resort?
Well, again, dining, believe it or not, is a big portion of our business as well.
I totally believe that.
We have a lot of guests that come from the New York, New Jersey area in particular, and the whole East Coast. And dining is very important. They're used to a very high level of cuisine. With all of our restaurants, our high-end wine list, they're coming to play golf all day, hit the spa and a jacuzzi, and then and really dine and enjoy themselves while they're here. So food is a big deal.
So then you probably have to focus on wine as well. Man, I want to hit up this Restaurant 59, which is your steakhouse option. Looks terrific.
Yeah, the steakhouse is great. We feature some prime beef, sort of steaks of all different sizes and shapes. And then we also offer a lot of fish, whether it's grouper or halibut or some of the local Florida fish.
Right.
We try and cater to a lot of different palates when it comes to that. And then again, we feature wine enthusiast wines and a great wine list, great choices of bourbons and scotches and other things that really our golfers enjoy a lot. So,
all right, I'm in. Once you said scotches and bourbon, I think I'm going to grab the next flight down over to you guys. But seriously, though, how do you plan the right mix of amenities, services, and all of that to create a well-rounded experience to meet and exceed your customer expectations?
Well, we're very fortunate in that we have a great staff of people. I have outstanding managers. We work very hard and a very coordinated basis. Interstate manages the overall resort. Kemper Sports is our golfing partner.
Yep.
And we work closely, again, with Mosaic on managing these golf courses and making sure that the overall experience is outstanding all the time. But service in running a large resort is complicated. When you have almost 500 associates, there's a lot of moving parts to making sure that every day the guest experience is outstanding. And so, there's an integrated program that Interstate has. We have the Perfect Room program, for instance, something our company offers that is a very strategic, fact-based kind of design of looking at hotel rooms, looking at your public spaces, making sure that everything is in terrific shape every day through inspection and management coordination. And so there's a lot of entities within our resort that have very specific sort of charges with a company like Interstate to make sure that we are making sure the product is outstanding as well as the service.
How do you make sure that everyone on your team is focused on those little details? Because I found that most everyone in hospitality does a great job in the broad strokes, and it really comes down to that last 1 or 2% that makes the difference, that really helps you connect with all those little details with the consumer mindset. So how do you make sure that you do things like make sure your team sees if there's a little scuff marks, they can take care of that, or they make sure that everything is just in tip-top shape all the time? Because I know that if you don't get something in like that first 24 hours of noticing it, at least this is in my private life, say my wife comes home and she puts that thing down next to the door. If we don't get it right away, it just becomes part of the atmosphere, and it could sit there for months and years because you stop seeing those kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what happens in a lot of properties. Right. You kind of get used to your own dirt, so
that's
to speak.
Right, and it drives me crazy because I'll be in a hotel room, and that's the first thing because I'm fresh guy coming in there, right? And I see all of those little things, and I fail to see all the amazing accomplishments that the resort's done, and I wind up focusing on the tiny little things.
Well, our team, from the general manager through our director of operations, director of housekeeping, director of engineering, we have daily, weekly, monthly inspections of all of our spaces. We have preventive maintenance programs that we entertain to make sure that the property stays in excellent shape. We're actually blessed with having a really beautiful modern building that affords us really some great stone, wood, and sort of design that makes in some ways easier to maintain than some of the traditional hotels. So we're very, very fortunate that this team works very hard at our facility, our Perfect Room program, and we just manage this through a lot of good communication. And then we empower our associates to make sure that, sort of like see something, say something.
Right.
If you see something that's out of place or something that needs to be repaired, we have something called Hot Sauce, which is a management program where they can input anything at any given time, and our engineering or housekeeping department addresses it.
Right. I think that's owned by Amadeus these days, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Cool. Yeah, I was just recently at their annual meeting in Miami, and it got me thinking. When we started this conversation, you were talking about the weather and stuff. I was in Miami 3-4 weeks ago, and it was already blazing sticky out there and humid. So I feel sorry for some of your golfers after like 11, 12 a.m. in like July.
Yeah, it's a little toastier in the summer, but we do offer a great caddy program. We have over 200 caddies as well.
What?
Yeah, it's a big caddy program. We have walking only golf between January 1st and April 1st, but you can take carts the rest of the year. But it's a great program. A lot of our guests just enjoy what we call, traditional golf, the way it's meant to be. If you parachuted into Streamsong, you wouldn't know it's Florida. There's no palm trees. There's no flowers. It's a really natural environment. You could be in Ireland or Australia or Scotland or a whole bunch of other places. So
yeah, and I encourage all the listeners to go to streamsongresort.com and take a look at some of these images that they have up there, because it doesn't look like prototypical Florida at all, and you're absolutely right to describe it that way. Now, the structure itself is really gorgeous. It seems to be very modern, but not too modern, so it won't feel like it's a weird, stale building a number of years from now. It also seems to be very open, and it almost feels like you're using a lot of feng shui elements with the way that it's designed, because you don't have too much jam-packed in there, and everything seems to flow very openly and smoothly with the design.
Yeah, the architectural design was to try to keep the resort in keeping with the environment. Like I said, there's a lot of stone use. There's a lot of natural wood, and they made the overall building very compatible with the local environment. So it's not what you expect when you come to a golf resort, but at the same time, it really blends in the environment. So you're right; it's going to be a timeless building in many ways.
Right. Excellent. So what else do we need to know about your resort? How about I ask you this? What is your number one strategy to making sure your employees are engaged, happy, and stick around for the long haul?
Well, we have a really neat program called 40X, the 4 Disciplines of Execution. And we have all of our sessions daily, weekly at stand-ups, just to make sure they're engaged, make sure they know who's in-house, what's going on, what the groups are. With 400 groups a year, there's a lot of communication that's required. And we try and keep them motivated and very, very happy. We've got great guest comments, very high scores in our company. And we try and make sure that our staff is motivated every single day, that they enjoy coming to work. As you can imagine, there's a little bit of a commute coming to a destination resort, but we have a great staff, so I'm very proud of them.
Well, it looks like an absolutely incredible place. Before we wrap up today, any final thoughts there, Richard?
No, good. We just encourage all of your listeners, please call us for information. We'd be more than happy to assist you with anything you might need at Streamsong. But come try a very unique resort. It's not probably what you expect. And you're going to find your golf experience as well as your food and beverage experience and all the other amenities to be really outstanding. So
I got a visual in my head of all the folks that I know that listen to this show that are huge into golf. So I think it'd be really great for you guys to go check this place out. I think it looks different. It looks really special and pretty unique with their 3 different courses. So Richard, I want to thank you so much for being here today, and be sure again to check them out at streamsongresort.com. And I will be right back with another great interview right after the commercial break. Thanks so much for listening.
Have a question for your host, Glenn? Tweet him now at Traveling Glenn. No Vacancy, the hospitality industry's #1 podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, Glenn Hausman here. There's been a lot going on at Red Roof lately. You know it, I know it, and with the introduction of their soft brand, the Red Collection, and their extended stay option, Hometown Studios by Red Roof, the world knows it. But listen, we'd be remiss if we overlooked the Red Roof brand itself. After all, Red Roof consistently offers one of the highest RevPARs in the economy segment, and has been voted best budget hotel brand by USA Today readers 3 of the past 5 years. They're careful to make sure standards reflect guest expectations, are fully tested and well priced. That's because they manage about 20% of the system, meaning they have skin in the game just like their franchisees. Then, of course, there's Red Roof Plus, the brand extension that created the upscale economy market with wood-like flooring, high-end bedding, spa-inspired baths, enhanced landscaping, and more, all based on consumer research, and all having a dramatic effect on owners' financial results. Plus, all Red Roof offerings come with Ready Rewards, a richest-in-class loyalty program with nearly 3 million members, and just happens to be the least expensive loyalty program for owners. Put it all together, and it's no surprise 86% of franchisees said they recommend Red Roof to fellow hoteliers. And those franchisees will also tell you, genuine relationships, real results. It isn't just some slogan, it's truly how Red Roof does business. Learn more by going to redrooffranchising.com or call 888-473-8861. That's redrooffranchising.com or call 888-473-8861.
Back to the show. It's No Vacancy, the hospitality industry's #1 podcast, with your host, Glenn Hausman.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the No Vacancy podcast with me, your host, Glenn Hausman. Now, it won't surprise you to hear that finding people that fill the jobs in hotels and in the infrastructure of the hospitality industry is becoming more challenges every single day. And that's why we need some really good, smart people who are out there helping to do the search to fill all of these positions. And that's why I have with us today Miss Sarah Smart, who's the VP of Global Recruitment over at Hilton. Sarah, how are you today?
I'm great, thanks, Glenn.
Oh God, this is so exciting to speak with you today because, man, the hospitality industry is such a great way for people to find success in their day-to-day lives. But I'm finding that a lot of people still don't know about all the opportunities that are available in our incredible business.
So true, Glenn. There is a wealth of opportunity, an opportunity to really create a career and create a life for yourself inside of the hospitality industry. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, what are some of the positions that you're recruiting for? Is it the whole panoply of jobs?
It's all of them, Glenn. That's a great question. I don't know if we have enough time for me to go through all.
I would like to go through every single opening you have in the company because, let's see, you're one of the biggest hotel companies in the world. The HLA said there's 900,000 open positions. So let's say you got 73,000 positions open. Go.
Yep, that's about right. But we recruit from soup to nuts. We're talking about entry level. You are not even a college graduate, but you're interested in exploring a role in hospitality, on up to roles reporting directly to our CEO for Chris Nacetta. It is an adventure every single time. It's probably the coolest job in the company. No offense to anyone else. And we see the gamut across the board. It's pretty cool.
Well, I'm just glad that I'm not in the company, so I don't have to be offended, which is really a good thing. So, okay. Yeah. So, Sarah, what is it exactly, what is it that recruiters are looking for these days? What is it that gets you all excited? I know, again, it's a tough question because we're talking about all the jobs that are in there. It's really hard to just kind of get it down to one. But I'm thinking there's a lot of people listening in here that are starting to understand that hospitality and hotels are a great career for them. What are some of the things maybe they need to think about in order to be appealing to somebody such as yourself?
Gosh, well, I think if I could boil it down to just a couple points that would be applicable across all of our roles, I would say first and foremost, we are looking for individuals that have a passion for hospitality, that would like to, in Conrad Hilton's words, join us to share the light and warmth of hospitality around the world. And so that is definitely point number one that we're assessing for when we talk to any potential candidate. We're looking for people that have the ability and the desire to learn and grow in their career. There's never a day that's the same as the day before here at Hilton. Everything is different. No matter what job you're in, you are dealing with new customers or new guests or new team members or new challenges on the ground or new opportunities to grow the business. And so that learning agility and that creativity is something that we look for in every single candidate. And then obviously we're always looking for our candidates to align with our values, which conveniently align with the Hilton name of hospitality, integrity, leadership, teamwork, ownership, and now. Those are areas that are critical for any individual's success here at Hilton, and we look for it in every single team member.
Okay, so if I change my name to Glenn Hilton, will I have a better chance of getting a job with you?
Well, you might have a shot right now. We'll talk about it, Glenn.
All right, good. I'm going to get the paperwork in right away, and then we'll see see what happens. All right. So, being that it's so competitive out there now, and it's not just a matter of you going out there and cherry picking the best because there are so many open positions, you've got to be a lot more strategic about it, right? So, what are you thinking about in order to make sure that top talent chooses to work with Hilton as opposed to some of those pesky competitors you have out there?
Well, gosh, that's a really great question. For us, we are laser focused on continuing to share all of the things that make Hilton a great place to work for all. We are very proud here in the U.S. of our Great Places to Work win. We are number one in the U.S. And
yes, congratulations on that, which is an amazing accomplishment and should not be just skipped over. So congratulations.
I appreciate that. It was we have accomplished that as a team after many years of hard work. When you look at that accomplishment, it is because we've invested so much time and thought and creativity around creating this great place to work for all, including looking at our maternity and parental leave, looking at our adoption assistance programs, the financial well-being, the team member wellness clinics, and the opportunity to really help team members take care of themselves, body, mind, and spirit here at Hilton. But then we're also looking at things like are the uniforms that our team members wear on property and their ability to have advanced scheduling so that they can think about how to balance work life and family life in a way that works for them. They get the choices and the opportunities.
Wow.
So, I mean, for us, it's amplifying all of those messages through various channels, whether it's through our team member, through our career site, which receives almost 1 million visitors per quarter, to our chatbots and the way that we interact with our candidates even before they become a candidate, even before they decide to apply, to our social media messaging and our recruitment marketing programs around the world. Yeah, all right, cool. It is. We focus on it. It's around amplifying what's already great at Hilton.
All right, so let's talk a little bit then about some of these benefits that you have, because I think a lot of people just think about a job as the compensation package strictly, and not about all these other opportunities that you have. First, maybe focus on wellness and health initiatives. Tell me a little bit about that. All I know about Hilton and health is that Adrian Curry, who runs Hilton Garden Inn, I think has been planking since March of 2015. But other than that, I'm not sure. Yeah,
he looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's interesting when you talk about wellness inside of hospitality, or frankly, any industry. You can talk about doing things like having yoga or encouraging planking, but it's really about changing the mindset of managers inside the organization to allow them not only to support the pursuit of wellness, but to actively encourage and demonstrate the pursuit of wellness, whether that is from creating the opportunities to create for wellness for our guests, to thinking about what does it mean for a team member who is in maybe a part of the world where maybe they don't have access to a gym. How do you make sure that they have fitness programs? How do you make sure that they have wellness programs that really work for them and for their lifestyle? We've invested in that from the very top. Obviously, we've got a team member wellness clinic here in our corporate headquarters, but we're looking at that inside the properties as well. And we're looking at creating programs that can teach our team members how to take better care of themselves and how to know when they need to take care of themselves. And that's really important to us.
Right. Fascinating. I guess your thought is, and let's look at it both from, it's great to the staff member because it shows that you care, but also it's fair to be a little selfish. I'm a big fan of being, selfish to make other people happy, because you'll actually get better productivity and probably less sick days and just a better overall results from that particular person if they're involved in a good wellness program. I think our team members are our greatest resource as a company in terms of providing exceptional service to our guests, and ultimately the connectivity between our team members and our investment in them around wellness results in great guest experience. So awesome. We think about that in almost every single investment that we make in our team members, is to create that amazing guest experience at the end of the day. Now, I remember when I was a teenager and first looking to get jobs, and I never worked in a hotel, which is shameful of me to admit, but I did work in fast food restaurants and retail and stuff like that. And basically the whole basically the whole recruitment process for that was, here, fill out this piece of paper, and if you spell correctly, maybe you'll get a job. I have a feeling it's not quite that simple with you. So what are you doing now when it comes to recruiting, and how has that kind of changed over the last the years that you've been involved in this side of the business?
Well, it's fascinating, because when you think about what's really changed in recruiting for not just Hilton, but I think any company recruiting at volume, what we're really looking at focusing on right now is that simply the vastness of the need for talent has changed, right? So the biggest change has been the scale at which we recruit. When we're opening a new hotel, we are recruiting the entire team member population for that hotel. And it is different than just filling out an application to a certain extent in terms of how team members find out, or potential team members find out about opportunities. But then it's also, we work really hard to keep the human in the recruitment experience. So you referenced sort of if you could spell, we are looking for team members, again, who are sort of, turning back to those values around, the Hilton values, around hospitality, but we're really looking for team members that also value the human interaction. So the interview experience is really important. The interaction with the hiring manager is really important. But when you're applying to a role at Hilton, you're no longer putting pen to paper for the most part. You are applying to a role on our website. Usually you're applying to a role on our website after you have heard about an opportunity. Sometimes it's in a very traditional way. Maybe there's a flyer that's posted at your school or at your church. Sometimes it's only served to you online. It really depends on the job and the location. But when you're going through that application process, we like to come to the candidate. We like to sort of create the opportunity for candidates to showcase themselves. In many places in our applicant life cycle, when you apply to a role, you're asked to provide a video interview, an opportunity to showcase your ability to Hilton. And we look at that as a way for us to really get to know someone and allow candidates to interview on their own time. Perhaps they're otherwise employed, perhaps they're going to school full time and they need a quiet moment to do a one-way video interview, but it gives us a chance to get to know them, and hopefully the candidates a chance to get to know that we care about them, we care about their time, and we care about the energy that they're putting into the interview process.
Right. And basically you're looking to make sure that they have the hospitality it factor, what it takes to take care of guests, what it takes to be kind of a self-starter, and what it takes to be open to learning how to be the best professional possible.
Absolutely. And the obsession around guest experience. We're looking for that in every single interaction that we have with our candidates, 100%.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, it's interesting because you must be more challenged, because as we've shifted from a manufacturing economy to more of an experience economy, that's part of the reason why we have so many roles open. Plus, the hotel industry has been expanding in such a pace over the last 10 years. We need more people to fill those roles. So you've got to be creative. I'm sure you go out to, college campuses and do something, but I also understand that you're working with military veterans in order to help fill positions too.
That's absolutely correct. We're actually looking for what we call almost sort of those hidden pools of talent. And, you can look at this in a couple different ways. We look at it from we're looking at college students. We're actually even looking at, creating opportunities for youth around the world in hospitality. We have a commitment to sharing the opportunities inside of hospitality with over 1 million youths around the world that we're very excited about. But when you talk about the military population in particular, and that's veterans, their spouses, and their caregivers, Hilton has an incredibly strong legacy of supporting the military, and that's right, dating back to our founder, to Conrad Hilton, who was a World War I veteran. In 2013, we announced Operation Opportunity, which is a major initiative which provides extensive support to U.S. military veterans and their families. Our first commitment was to hire 10,000 military veteran spouses and dependents at the company, and that was in 2013. We exceeded our goals. And we over-delivered, which was fantastic. We were very excited about that. So we actually re-upped and doubled that commitment. So we pledged to hire another 20,000 veterans and their family members by 2020, and we're well on our way to meeting this goal. We're an incredibly military-friendly organization. We also view our veterans, the spouses, and caregivers as some of the most incredible hiring opportunities we have from a talent pool perspective. So we're passionate about them. The unemployment rate for military spouses is nearly 4 times the national average at 16%. So they face really distinct challenges. They tend to be what they call trailing spouses. Our remote work opportunities give us a chance to engage with military spouses and create a really meaningful career for them. So we're, as you can tell, we're very passionate about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember doing an interview back in the day. I think it was the 2013 when you first, as a company, achieved those particular goals. So hiring 30,000 veterans and their spouses by the end of 2020 is a Herculean task for sure. So what are some of the ways that you seek out those particular individuals to hopefully engage with Hilton in a potential job role?
Sure. Well, I mean, we have a tremendous amount of strategic partnerships. We're on bases all over the U.S. In fact, we're on bases all over the world.
Wait, so you actually go to bases and recruit?
Oh, absolutely.
Fascinating. Okay,
yep,
cool.
We are out there with military hiring fairs, but I mean, just recently we had our head of Operation Opportunity at a Marine base in Japan, actually talking about opportunities for transitioning veterans who are coming back to the U.S. and opportunities in hospitality, specifically at Hilton. We're, not only that, we're really engaged with our current military team members. We call them team member resource groups. So we have a military TMRG, and that team member resource group is an active referral of a tremendous amount of talent for us. And then finally, of course, we're engaging with local governments and helping the local governments to identify transitioning military leaders and bringing them into our organization. So, I mean, it's a multi-pronged effort. What I find particularly heartening and exciting about the effort is that it's not something that is done just by one small team. It's done by the entire organization. Everyone here is a recruiter at Hilton, sort of, job number one.
Right.
You can talk to almost any team member inside of Hilton, and they will know all about Operation Opportunity. They'll know why it's important to us and their part in making it happen.
Excellent. Are there any other groups, I guess, besides college students that you look at as a great opportunity to find more than individual folks at a single time, such as the military, such as going to these colleges?
Sure. Well, I mean, I think we are also always looking for remote workers in
Right.
general. We have a vast pool of remote work jobs, and they provide many of the company's learning opportunities and benefits and perks. Those positions are ideal for people that are more prone to geographic moves, like a military spouse, but they're also great for retirees. We've had a partnership with AARP in place for a couple of years now that allows us to really communicate with retirees about maybe what's the next part of their career post-retirement, and would they like to still interact with people? We have opportunities for that, as well as others that may need flexible work schedules and the ability to earn an income remotely. And those roles are offered not only in the U.S., but outside of the U.S. and in many countries. We are also really taking a look at some partnerships as we look at the National Organization of Disabilities. One of our senior executives, Mike Gathright, is on the board of the NOD, and we're really focusing on how do we create opportunities for individuals with disabilities and creating a meaningful career path for those individuals here at Hilton. And it's an initiative that we're very passionate about.
All right. That is something that's exciting to me, because folks with disabilities have such a high unemployment rate. It's almost as if society wants to push them to the corners, right? And just not deal with the issue at all. So how can people that are blind or deaf or have some sort of learning disability fit in well with the Hilton family? What are those types of jobs that you think they're more naturally tuned to being able to excel at?
Sure, and I think it really depends on where they want to excel.
Of course.
We've really created, I think, several career paths inside of the organization where, depending on where you may be differently abled, you would have the opportunity to excel in a call center, or perhaps in a kitchen, or perhaps at the front desk. We're not looking to discriminate based on disability, of course, but more importantly, it's really about where does the individual want to excel, and then we look for ways to create that path for them.
Excellent. I love that. So it becomes a partnership. That's fantastic. I love it. So overall, what did you do to specifically ensure that Hilton can keep that number one workplace initiative is in the next few years? How are you going to make sure that you don't slip down? It's a big responsibility. It's always great to climb to the top, but then everybody wants to get you.
That's exactly right. And you know what? We actually view that as sort of the halo effect. That's a great thing for our industry overall.
Yep.
Everyone wants to be a great place to work.
Right, because I should say, this is not the number one place to work just in hospitality. It's all of businesses.
Correct. Correct. So, you know what, if we can set the standard and other people want to take our crown, of course, that's great. More power to them. But the thing that keeps me up at night is not just what are we doing today, but what are we going to do in the future? So today we're doing some great things in recruitment around aligning our skill sets with the types of individuals that we're hiring to make sure that we're hiring people that love their job from day one. We are also doing some things around, hey, maybe you didn't get hired at Hilton, but you're going to have a great experience with us anyway. And that's a big part of being in recruitment is any candidate that we speak with could be a potential guest. And so we have programs today where if you're interviewing on site at corporate headquarters, you get an opportunity to connect with Hilton in a variety of different ways. You get different upgrades to your Hilton Honors account. There are a couple of different things that we've implemented there. But ultimately, we're a business of people serving people. And we've long recognized that in order to do that effectively, we need diversity to be a part of our DNA. And one of the big things that recruitment continues to be focused on is ensuring that we are hiring leaders that represent our guests globally and represent the ambitions of the company globally. So we're looking and always seeking to understand the unique perspective of our team members, along with our guests, owners, suppliers, and even our community partners, to ensure that we are continuously hiring a diverse pipeline of team members. We think that that's probably core to what is going to keep Hilton's crown, so to speak, in terms of being a number one great place to work.
Totally.
But we're also looking for, ways on a daily basis to surprise and delight our candidates. So that when they do join Hilton, they've had a great experience. We hire one team member every 7 minutes. And those team members, it's amazing. So those team members, we want them to have a great experience from the first time that they decide, what's this whole hospitality business about, to applying to a role all the way through, that they're experiencing the human and the hospitality, which is what makes Hilton so great, in probably one of the more stressful things that you would do in your life, which is apply for and potentially accept a new job. We want to make that easy for our candidates. We want to make it real. We want to make it human. And we're obsessed about that. So you're going to start seeing Hilton talking about some new technology in recruitment going forward, where we're going to be able to talk to candidates that we know are engaged with us, that we know and can tell from our data and analytics, have gone to our career site a couple of times, maybe hovered over a job a couple of times, or interacted with our chatbot. We know that's someone who's passionate and really interested and wants to learn more. So how do we talk to them and engage with them? That's the next frontier for us. And that's what I lie awake thinking about, which is what's next in recruiting that can help us maintain our place as the number one great place to work in the U.S.
Awesome. How important is having a clear career path for people when they're coming on board the company? Because I assume that there are some people that just want that job, but then there are other people that want a career.
That's a really great question, and you kind of answered it. Yes, some people some people just want the job, and some people want to know the career path. And I think the answer is not great, which is it all depends. It depends on the person. It also depends on the job.
Yeah.
But what we see is Hilton, when you have Hilton team members joining our organization, they tend to stay. They tend to stay for a long time and have a very robust career inside of Hilton. We have team members that have been here for more than 50 years, which is pretty exciting for us.
50?
Yes, we just had someone, and I will have to ask Allie to send you some stats if you're interested.
Yeah.
But we had I think a bellman in London who has been with us for more than 50 years. It's pretty cool. People, when our team members join us, I think that they can tell, as hopefully they can tell through the recruitment experience as well, that we're a company that cares about them. And that is, I don't want to say that that's rare, but that is special. And it's very important. And it's probably the primary way that we stand out from any of our competitors.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Any final thoughts there, Sarah, before I give you a chance for a little shameless plug to plug yourself and Hilton's workplace?
I have been at Hilton for 8 years, and I can say, I have fully drunk the Kool-Aid. My job as a recruiter is to be cynical at the end of the day, but this is a company that, really does walk the walk, and it's very cool to see.
That's awesome. So how can people, find Hilton if they want to get involved and potentially get a job with you folks?
Sure. If you go to hilton.com/careers, you can check out our career site. From a shameless plug perspective, we are very excited about the work that we're doing in what I would call the future of work, whether it's related to recruiting or the future of careers inside of hospitality. You can also follow us at Hilton Careers, which would be our tag for Insta or Twitter, or hit us up on Facebook. We are everywhere that you would expect to be and more.
Excellent. That was really terrific. So I want to thank Sarah Smart for being here today. What a great conversation about Hilton and the future of hospitality and engaging potential employees. I love what this company is doing, and I love how they're really looking to take care of their people and retain that number one title. So we'll be back next week, and if you want, just drop us a line at Traveling Glenn is how you find me all over social media, although I'm not cool enough to be able to say Insta like you are over there, Sarah. And also, if you haven't subscribed, text the word hotel to 66866. That's the word hotel to 66866, and you'll get our Sunday night newsletter. Of course, find this show and the other shows on the No Vacancy Network I'm totally forgetting where they are on iTunes, on Google Play, and everywhere finer podcasts are found. So for Sarah and myself, Glenn, we'll be back next week. That is, unless I change my name to Hilton and go get a job over there. All right, guys. See you next week.
Thanks so much for listening to No Vacancy, the hospitality industry's #1 podcast, with your host, Glenn Hausman, online at rouse.media, on Twitter at Traveling Glenn, and on Facebook.com/Glenn.Hausman. We'll catch you next time.